The time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up off the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yes. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Razera Menon. Y'all already know, man. One perfect balance. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Yes, today is another, well, the 29th, Wednesday the 29th of January 2025. Already 1 month is already ticked off the calendar, the Gregorian calendar, and we're heading now, well, into February. Just so, you know, it was just the other day we was here looking at the countdown. Everybody was waiting for the end of the year. And here we are. Jeez, on already. Anyhow, tonight, promise to share some information, man, that's going to be a little disturbing. So, parental advice is parental discretion is advice. Let me put it that way. A state of emergency. Is this urban warfare? We're looking at some stuff we should have been looking at long ago and recognizing what's really going on. Real estate, new laws about land and land tax. If you can't pay, clear up your property, all this sort of madness. And again, we just sitting back and watching it unfold. Somebody please bring the popcorn. Somebody please bring the popcorn. You know what I mean? Because this cannot be real. It can't be real. But we're going to wait and see what happens. So right now, we're going to go tell a friend to tell a friend. Politically Incorrect, up and running. Wheels on the ground. We're looking to do something and make some things happen. Got some links I'm going to share with you. Some videos I'm going to share with you. So it's been one of those nights. Y'all not gonna believe these videos, so stick around. That might upset some folks too. Man, especially this one right here. I'm telling y'all, man. So some folks sent me a video this week, it's like a 10-second video showing some guys walking in the pine, something like that, some soldiers or whatever. Some kind of I don't know if it's a false flag operation or whatever. Anyhow, we're gonna touch on that as well. We're gonna touch on some stuff. And I heard there's a new party in town. I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that. But we're gonna touch on that as well. We're gonna look into this. We're just having a conversation, family. So if you know somebody who's involved, whatever, send them a link. Tell a friend to tell a friend. In fact, let me put the number on the screen because people be talking all kind of stuff. I mean, I be on the live. Wait, hold on. Leave it at that. I be up here on the live, it be live. And still, I don't know. They wait till I come off to message me and call me. Mango. Something about mango juice here, I'm telling you. But anyhow, we're going to touch on some stuff tonight. Have a conversation. The phone lines, I'm going to have them open. Let me go ahead and put this on silent. And I'm go ahead and pair this with the sound system so that you can feel free to call in as you see fit. There you go. Shout out to the family, of course. Y'all already know. Shout out to FADE, Barbados National Congress. BNC, Barbados National Congress. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I got Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah, I just got a call there, came through. That's what happened. Uh, our guest, our guest for the night. I don't know. They're saying no song, but I'm seeing the mic here is on, so I don't know. Is it still no audio? Okay, let me check. Hang on. Oh, you can hear you hear okay, Sean said you could hear me. All right, well tell you what, give me a song check, family. Mic check 1 2 1 2. If you can hear me, give me a mic check. If you can hear me, just double check. Mic check, mic check. You know how it is, man. Politically incorrect. Let me know if you can hear me out there in cyborg space. Let me just double check this stuff. Okay, okay. So I'm saying that I'm being heard. Let me send this link to our guest for the night. It's gonna be interesting. I'm telling you, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. Let me just send this to the guests, and go ahead. Y'all could y'all could go ahead and tell your friends what's going on. Okay, that's what's up. Righty. Where am I gonna go with this? Okay, I'll wait till they come on and I'll send it. I'll send it right away. All right, audio is back. All right, give thanks. First, let me go shout the people out, man. Sexy D, what's up? Long time no see. Greetings to you, family. You already know. Empress, I see you in the building as well. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure you share this in your WhatsApp group, your status, Facebook, IG, wherever you at. Go ahead and tell your peoples. Good evening, Rastaman, a viewer just off the train and got your notification. Locked on, fully loaded. King Alfred, I see you. Sean, you ain't late at all, man. We good. We good. We good. We rolling. Marie, what's up? Greetings to you too. Again, shout out to the whole Fade family. Full respect. Yeah, I see you got the sound thing worked out. It was mute. In fact, when I paired the phone, it switched to the phone mic because I got the call at the same time. And that's basically what happened. Little audio things. I have to designate a separate line for the studio as opposed to using that line on the sim, but I'll work that out in time. You know what I'm saying? When we get a budget, we'll work that out. We go work it out, man. I hear you, Sean. I see you, family. All right, Empress, give thanks. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. It's gonna be one of those nights. So let me just jump right into it off the top. Where do I start? We got a guest coming in, so I'm gonna save that portion of it for later. Maybe I'll start with this particular one. This is going. I don't know. This is crazy. So y'all know we had a program a couple of days ago last week where Princess came in and talked about the food and food prices. Now, I mean, I got several calls on that. I went to the market. You know, there's still the up and down, different things going on about that. And folks weren't necessarily pleased because they realized, well, yeah, a lot of stuff is scarce. And if you do find something, you know, it's a price thing. But then something else came up. And she mentioned that some wholesalers are now endeavor to retail. But get this, they don't retail at the vendor's price. They retailing at the wholesale price. So then wait a minute. So if a vendor comes to a wholesale and buys something to go out there, flip it and sell it, you know, break it down, because you got to buy bulk and break it down to sell it as a, you know, to make $1 on it or a quarter on it or 50 cents, depends on the pound, however they're selling it. Then the wholesaler decides to open up a storefront or come to the same area that you selling where they sold you, set up a stall and sell it, not at the retail price that, you know, they selling it broken down at the same wholesale price. Invariably, what that does, it puts the vendor at a disadvantage. Why? Because obviously people going where the price is right. And it makes it look like the vendor is trying to gouge out somebody's eyes. Like, well, how come you sell it so high and them got it so low? But the consumer does not know that these are the wholesalers that actually bring the stuff in direct. So they cut out the middle people and they're doing their thing. Well, that might be beneficial to the household, but then it puts vendors now out of business. So should there be price regulations? Should there be, I don't know. I think it's cause for concern. And I'm being told that there's a particular company, I won't call the name now. We're going to do some investigative research and find out if this is actually true. We're going to visit the head office and ask some questions. Do they sell wholesale? And do they sell customers who come retail at the same wholesale price? If that is the case, I don't think you can stop a business from doing that. I don't know if there's rules to do that, but are regulations in place? I don't know. But I think that's a bit, that's a bit, that's that a little tricky. That one a little tricky. Nevertheless, we'll see how that goes, man. We'll see how that goes. But let me go ahead and jump into this right here. I won't call that particular company name, although I have it right here in front of me. I won't put it out there because I don't know for sure. This information that came to me. So I'll go verify this and we're gonna see what's up. We'll see what's up. Greetings to you too, family. Greetings, Rastafari. Baby Lee, what's up, man? Got the family in the building. Greetings to you too, family. So this is where we at this junction, peoples. This is where we at. The question I asked tonight is state of emergency. Is this urban warfare? So like I said, a video was circulated to me a couple of days ago with some individuals in a particular area of what we call the Pine community. Now, if anybody knows the Pine, just by looking at 2 or 3 landmarks, they know exactly where this video was recorded, which I thought was a bit strange. Nevertheless, I don't know if it's me or not, but it could be me. And if I'm incorrect, please somebody correct me. My number's on the screen. But I find it hard to believe, and this is just, again, my perspective, that military forces were deployed in the housing area of the Pine. And, well, basically, there's one 10-second video of some individuals, about 3 guys or 4 guys at best, I don't know, walking very nonchalantly with the, the whole camouflage M16 era, whatever it is, I don't know. And walking through this community very seemingly nonchalantly. Just a small clip. Now, I don't know if this was maybe they parked the car down the hill, got out, walked up the hill. Somebody happened to be at the window at the time, just happened to be there to record it just for that few seconds, clip it. The car came back, or van, then they got back in and drove off. I don't know. It looked a bit staged to me. But I don't know if the Pine is a large community. I would figure if they had that many Defense Force soldiers in the Pine, and it's not the first time, that there would be multiple videos circulating, different angles, different perspectives, highlighting some of the activities that took place that day. I don't know. Maybe after tonight, you'll start to see more videos. I don't know. I just happen to see one. I don't know. Maybe there are many more. Maybe they didn't make their wrongs to my particular device. But I just found it a bit strange. And like I said, if you know the area, then you also know what else is in that area. I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? A bit strange. But I'm concerned because I did a program. The week before that, the whole thing hit the fan, and I played the AG video. And when he said that, I explained to the people, this is what is going to happen. Because there's a plan for the real estate of the Pine. The Pine community, when they first developed this community, this project, they weren't interested in it the way they are now. They weren't looking at it the way they're looking at it now. Because the Pine sits on prime real estate. If you ever been to the Pine, especially the area up on the hill, overlooks the valley. I mean, the view is spectacular. It's an amazing view. It's an amazing view, family. I mean, the Pine is prime real estate. So how do you capture prime real estate from individuals that you put there as a project almost 3 generations ago, and the people won't leave? You create such a hostile environment that you almost force people out. You almost get rid of them by fear, because a lot of folk, I don't like up in here, I gone, I leaving up in here. And, you create the conditions where the community doesn't grow to the extent in which it can. And collectively, the Pine is a rich community. Individually is another conversation. So gentrification is the word I want y'all to write down. Gentrification, write that word down. Go look that up. Gentrification. Write that down. Look that up. A lot of politicians talking. I won't call names tonight, technically, but we got the particular two parties that we all know, different individuals. We even got a new party. Like I said, we're going to touch that later on as well. Everybody got all the solutions, but we're not realizing this thing is in motion. So what is the plan for all the different events that are unfolding in Barbados that is literally marginalizing the people of Barbados? Everywhere you turn, even this new bill about land and land tax and not paying it, you got rubbish on your land and trees growing. The collective is what's important, not your individual desire. So we at a place where, family, we need to have some real conversations about what's really going on. That word is gentrification. Like I said, why am I saying that? Well, let me play the video first. I want to play this video first. Some of y'all may have seen this before, and some of y'all might not have seen it. I don't know. Is this the one? Don't tell me. Did I lose the video again? I hope not. I got it right there. Yeah. I almost lost it. Pardon me a second. Yeah, pardon me a second. I almost lost it. Where is it? Ah, here we are. All right, there you go. All right. So let me go ahead and put this video up. Like I said, some of y'all may have seen this before. I don't know. I know I came across it recently doing my research, and I was like, whoa, okay. This is interesting. This is quite interesting. Remember the word identification. I want y'all to listen carefully, because the prime is prime real estate. Trinidad, when it comes to these different crimes, places like Laventille and whatnot, if you ever go look at the topography of Trinidad, these communities that they're talking about is very similar. Laventille is prime real estate overlooking the Bay Area. I mean, this isn't just happening by accident. Jamaica, same thing going on. Troops on the ground. Where you go in the Caribbean, all of a sudden in the Caribbean, crime is at an all-time high. All of a sudden, crime is just the big issue now, as if crime ain't been going on. But it's the new focus. And since they signed that recent agreement, the SOFA agreement, the status of force agreement, that allow American troops to put their boots on the ground in some of these countries if there's issues, family, we got to look at this very differently. Let me paint the picture for you really quick. Let me go ahead and add this to the stage. So, in fact, let me get the link for this as well. Listen, go tell a friend and tell a friend, family. All this government looking to take your land and sell your land if you can't clean it, that is garbage and hogwash. Understand, a lot of these so-called laws are volunteer and on a voluntary basis, and we not looking at it like that. Only slaves are obligated to these particular mandates that they try to impose on you. If you are their property, of course you don't have a choice, but they can't enforce that on nothing that they don't have jurisdiction over, and they do not have jurisdiction over you unless you give it. So don't acquiesce. It's that simple. Don't let them trick you with all that rah. Attorney General need to step down, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. Like, not even step down, as a matter of integrity. As a matter of integrity and principle. He's always speaking in this, as a matter of integrity and principle, as a result of all the mothers who had to bury their sons on his watch. He should just resign, man. You have failed. This is deep. You have failed the nation. You have failed the mothers, the grannies, the sisters, the fathers. You failed, man, the wives. You failed. I'm going to show you why. Gentrification, family. Let's watch this video briefly. This is from the most exclusive islands in the Caribbean to own real estate. Now, this guy goes through a few other countries before he gets to, well, I'm going to let him tell it. Let me let him tell it.
In paradise, Anguilla presents a unique opportunity to get in early before prices start climbing. I should also add that it's only a 20-minute ferry ride away from St. Martin. Now, finally, we have Barbados.
I just want to get to this part.
20-minute ferry ride
away
from St. Martin. Now, finally, we have Barbados. A noticeable mention I added to our list. Well, the Barbados real estate market isn't as developed or mature as some of the other Caribbean markets we've discussed. It's carved out a reputation for opulence and exclusivity, especially amongst wealthy British and Canadian expats. This island offers a unique mix of laid-back, authentic Caribbean charm and luxury living, making it an increasingly popular destination for high-net-worth individuals. The Platinum Coast, or West Coast of Barbados, is home to some of the most sought-after beachfront villas and exclusive estates like Sandy Lane, made famous by Rihanna. Well, the real estate market here is still evolving. Demand is steadily growing, especially for short-term rentals, thanks to Barbados' reputation as a high-end vacation destination. As the market matures, it's likely to attract more and more global attention, positioning itself as a rising star in the Caribbean luxury real estate market. Now, each of these islands offers incredible opportunities, whether you're after capital appreciation, rental income, or simply a luxury lifestyle in paradise. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in the Caribbean, now's the perfect time to act. Markets like Turks and Caicos and Cayman have doubled or tripled in the past 5 years. And you're starting to see a similar trend unfold in other Caribbean islands as well. The window for top-tier investments is wide open, but it won't stay that way long. Whether you're looking for a vacation home, a rental property, or just a smart investment to diversify your portfolio, I'm here to guide you every step of the way.
Yeah, people. Yeah, people. Yeah, people. So, land for sale. You understand me? Don't matter who you voting for, the country is up for sale. High end, premium luxury. That they talking to you. Unless you got a few M's put down, and I don't mean $1 million or $2 million. I'm talking about the hundreds of millions. Because the prices of this land nowadays, you ain't included in that. When it comes to the pine housing area, the Pine or the people in the Pine do not own those units. They may have a letter from urban at best, from national housing at best. They do not have no title deeds because they cannot give you title deeds. In fact, nobody in the Pine housing has a title deed. And if you do have a title deed, it's a false and fake and fraudulent document. Why? Because they can't give it to you. National housing never owned that real estate. That's why it took forever to even get documentation. You can't get it. You can only get a letter indicating that, well, you have access to these units. You don't own that. So wait a minute. How does this work? Yeah, the land is for sale, gentrification. So you're going to start noticing people leaving out and different people coming in, slowly but surely. See, the crime and soldiers and whatnot, that is just going to traumatize who's already there, the children, everybody else, raise up another generation of young people who are traumatized. All they see is military, police, guns. Like, what are you teaching the children when you do that? What are you teaching the children when you do that? Anyhow, family, the line's open tonight. We're going to touch on this. Like I said, the Attorney General of Barbados, Mr. Dale Marshall. I don't too like calling names. I mean, people say you always call him Ralph name, but sorry, Mr. Thorne name, maybe on a first name basis. But I like to think that, now, as a matter of principle, man, like the amount of people, you should just automatically resign as principal. You have failed many, many families, generations of Barbados. Every young man that has been unalived unnecessarily, we're talking generational loss. He would have had children, had children's children and children's children. You're talking thousands of people lost under your watch. And your only solution to fix this issue is to put more guns, put a different gang in the area with gangs, like you said. According to the episode on the TV, whatever the episode they call it, they're doing with the office of Miss Willoughby and whoever else. Gangs. Gang. So you take another gang and put in this gang. So basically now, this becomes a turf war. Here's the funny thing. Man, I ain't even going to say that. Because I am almost certain in no community in Barbados where they deploy these other two gangs, the security forces and the Barbados Defense Force that was created in 1979 to do one of two things: deal with international and regional and local emergencies like hurricane, that kind of stuff. Or if the people become restless. Their training is not against an invasion. Their training is to make sure that if you decide to act up, they put you back in your place. But like I said, go look that word up, gentrification, man. land for sale. I'm gonna put this link up. Hang on a second. Let me post this link in the chat because this video is quite interesting. Let me paste this right here. I think that is the YouTube video. Go check that video out. This guy right here. Give props to the creator of this particular content. Just use this for educational purposes only. So don't feel a type of way. You know, if you feel a type of way, you got to know why you feel a type of way. So feel a type of way. That's the type of way I feel about how you feel. So that's what I'm saying. Straight off the top. We ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors bled for this land, worked hard for this land, and now land is for sale. And they're trying to find ways to manipulate this and literally take it from you, those who are rightfully entitled to it, by hook and crook. Let me give you a glimpse right here. I have a guest backstage. I'm going to bring him on in a second, and he's going to speak about certain things. But I want to play this other video before I bring him on, and I'll segue right into that. And this one is even more intriguing because I want you to listen to this as well, very carefully. But not just listen to it, because I'm going to point out the areas that you need to listen to, but pay attention to the videos, the imagery that they show, just the brief imagery that they show in between the dialogue. You got to pay attention. If I'm telling you pay attention, family. We ain't going to be doing this over and over and over, man. Tired telling you this. We see it from a mile away, Let me go to this one right here. This is going to be, so this is about a month ago. It's not a new video. I don't know, many of y'all saw this, but perhaps you did. But I want y'all to listen carefully. A month ago is December. A month ago, they signed, regionally, a lot of countries signed that SOFA agreement, the status of, what is it called? The status of forces agreement. And you need to watch this and understand a month ago why all this is coming into play. Listen to what is being said and what is being shown. You gotta pay attention, family. It's that time. The writing on the wall, man. Those who have eyes to see, let them see. Those who have ears to hear, right?
Of the 101 recruits entering the Barbados Defense Force gates at St. Anne's Fort to become soldiers, 69 were successful and stood tall during this parade at the Paragon base. The recruits went through a series of tasks, learning to become members of the Defense Force. In his feature address, BDF Chief of Staff Brigadier Carlos Lovell stated that a lot of responsibility will be placed on their shoulders. He says that the government is currently negotiating for recapitalization of the BDF fleet and acquiring new air assets, which is good news for the force. He encouraged the recruits to be ready for work.
The government of Barbados is currently negotiating the recapitalization of the BDF's vessel and vehicle fleet in order to better serve the needs of our country. This is coupled with the pending acquisition of new air assets to ensure that the BDF creates a presence in the air domain and improves our maritime domain awareness.
Air assets. So they're not talking about no fighter jets. Air assets is one of two things. Drones, for starters, that's for sure. And I don't know if they're looking to get military helicopters. I don't know if that's the idea. He didn't specify. But air assets is only two things in the air. Fighter jets. And Barbados is not going to war with we not fighting. We did no Air Force base kind of thing going on. But definitely drones. And drones come in different sizes. The little one at your size of your phone. And there's one the size of your garbage can that can literally lift probably your garbage can with about 2,000 pounds payload. I'm just saying. Anyhow, let me let him finish.
Some of you may also be aware that the government has approved the expansion of the force by almost 200 service persons.
The expansion of the force by about 200. We need 200 additional individuals, because after all, we don't have enough people here doing absolutely nothing on a daily basis. We need to expand that. Why? Why you think they need to expand the BDF that sits there and do almost absolutely nothing? Don't get me wrong. I understand the service you guys provide is a particular service with regards to emergency rescue and whatnot. But you see the urban warfare coming into communities. You got men who are trained to kill walking about the community. But anyhow, hold on. Let's listen to the rest of this.
And the construction and commissioning of a new headquarters.
A new base. After all, the old one is just outdated. Why? Because that sits on prime real estate as well. We could probably build a hotel right there instead of make some money. Gentrification, family.
While this is good news for the members of the force and for the recruits, I must remind you that to whom much is given, much is required.
Brigadier level said that the BDF is also preparing to be part of a multinational support team in Haiti.
I want you to pay attention to this particular part, because these guys are in what appears to be riot geared, helmets, shields, and whatnot, with their PPK sticks and boots and shields and knee pads and all. But these are the guys that are throwing water bottles. This is not a military confrontation. This is regular people in the van stand, probably with a drink bottle, pelting bottles at these guys in full riot gear. I wonder why. No, but pay attention to this here.
He says it is likely that this recruiting class will be among those chosen for that exercise in some way.
So wait a minute, hold on. Just my 2 cents. So basically the Defense Force is training in urban warfare, how to deal with civil unrest. Now, why would they be thinking that Barbados and Barbadians, paradise, we gathering, we all in this together? Miss Montley, they say don't call your name on the program. I don't know why. Anyhow, I ain't even paying it no mind. Go back and watch the other episodes, man. Too much is given, right? Why is it that, they're training for civil unrest? I mean, to my understanding, the president, the president, Dale Marshall, and the others are under jurisdiction of the president, not even the prime minister, according to the paperwork. But my thing is, how are we training for urban warfare and civil unrest unless you plan on having civil unrest? Barbadians aren't thinking about going out there and rioting and clashing with police and pelting pep bottles and that kind of stuff. So what are you preparing them? I mean, what are you preparing for? Just ask. I'm asking for a friend. Hold on.
The Barbados Defense Force, of which you are now members, has built a solid reputation as a regional force for good and has a stellar track record for the maintenance of national and regional security. Even now, as the force prepares to support the multinational security support mission in Haiti.
Okay, let me pause there for a second. Y'all remember that whole trip to Haiti thing? Yeah, remember that? Yeah. Well, this is interesting because if you think about it, if you really think about it, Haiti brought military troops on the ground to combat the gangs in Haiti. We're not going to get into whether they were good gangs in the communities or bad gangs or which political party backed which gang and that kind of stuff. We're going to just look at it as gangs, military versus gangs. So now that we got crime in Trinidad and gangs, military, crime in Jamaica and gangs, military boots on the ground. Barbados, crime, and areas they claim, according to Christmas lists, because I don't know about the gangs in Barbados, according to Christmas list, they're gangs in certain areas. And they happen to ironically have now boots on the ground in Barbados. Let me tell you something, right, family? I don't know, man. Let me finish this part. Pay attention to the footage, family.
We are reminded of the important role which the BDF plays in maintaining stability in our region. Should the decision be made to deploy BDF personnel to support this regional effort, I am certain that members of this recruit intake will certainly be called upon to play a direct or supporting role in this conflict.
Now, I don't know who edited the video, but listen to what is said and watch what is being shown. I'm going to run that again, man, because there's a way to teach, and it's through visual and audio. Any teacher worth their weight in books would know that one of the best, you could teach in audio and you could teach in visual. One of the most effective ways to get a message across is to combine audio and visual. Allow me to illustrate.
Effort.
Hang on.
We are reminded of the important role which the BDF plays in maintaining stability in our region. Should the decision be made to deploy BDF personnel to support this regional effort, I am certain that members of this recruit intake will certainly be called upon to play a direct or supporting role in this conflict.
Brigadier level also urged the recruits to stay away from temptation and make good choices in their professional career.
Tear gas, gas mask, the whole 9 yards. Family, look, man, this looked like a whole full-fledged riot. They training for all kind of events. Training for events. clockwork. They can close their eyes and run these drills like clockwork against the youth that's sitting on the block that are misguided, misdirected, and just lack opportunity. And simply lack opportunity. Something got to give, family. Something got to give, man. I'm just saying, something got to give. Let me check the comments real quick before I bring my guests in. I'm just giving the guest heads up. I'm gonna bring you in next, family. In fact, let me just put this video, let me let this video play out. I'll share the link as well. So, you know, you can go and check that out if you want to review it and listen carefully on your own.
I encourage you to grasp these opportunities and always give of your best, cognizant that much is expected of you as the newest members of the profession of arms. You must retain or remain focused on the force's mission, reject corruption, turn away from negative influences, and do not succumb to the many temptations which will cross your paths in your professional and your personal lives.
The best.
Yeah. That's a message in a bottle, man. That's a message in a bottle by itself.
Recruits to stay away from temptation and make good choices.
I'm just interested in this kind of training. This where we at right now, family. This where Barbados is at right now. We putting troops on the ground. I hope the people that be in the comments saying, I glad, you know, I glad, because I've been reading the comments. A lot of people like, yeah. I'm not supporting that at all. Yes, I get that the youth are doing some behavior that is considered lawless, but you got to understand, these youths are too young to even care about anything because they don't have nothing to care about. No one is teaching them and guiding them in the right direction. It's usually the adults that's leading the wrong way. None of them youths ain't bringing no guns in. None of them. So it's okay to blame the youths and be glad, like, yeah, the troops are, yeah, I'm glad they want locking up, bring back the death penalty. It's okay to say all of that. But keep in mind, when these guys come in your community, pay attention, huh? Pay attention, man. Where we at now? I see a lot of comments here. Does the government even own deeds to the land the pine housing scheme sits on? Nope, they don't have it. Gotta ask Alex. I guess. I don't know, man. Them selling entire island in the Caribbean. Of course, Pirates of the Caribbean. Don't forget. Sean is saying, but that's not good for locals. That will drive the prices up. Man, I mean, this is where we at, family. This is what's going on. That's why I tell you to go tell a friend and tell a friend. This isn't that kind of program, man. This is where you get this straight off the press. Straight off the press. They playing around, family. They're looking gentrification. For those who know lock on, go look that word up. Go watch that previous video. It is that time. Caribbean for sale, man. Thelma, what's up, family? Shout out to the family. Shout out to the family in all the lands, America, New York, Canada, England, all over the globe, the rest of the Caribbean. Godspeed. I see you, family. Greetings to the family up in UK. Moms, the matriarch locked on for sure. Imagine that, Caribbean for sale. You see that, right? Go watch that video, family. That same company, and it was mentioned in the Kingsland estate. Yeah, I said it. There's some property I saw advertised that they apparently was in charge of somehow that's involved in the Kingsland estate. I don't know how that works, man. Like, these people don't got no conscience at all. They're preparing for what they think is coming. Nah, they're not preparing for what they think is coming. They're preparing for what they plan to come or what they know is coming. That's right. That's definitely, look, man, definitely hit the nail on the head. They know what they're planning for. If you want to know who is planning for a riot, look at who's preparing for it. That's all you got to do. They know what they did and what they're doing. Facts, man. Dark days ahead, regardless of the sun. I like that. I love that. That's a fact, man. Remember, Operation Trade Winds. Invaders are coming back. There you go. There you see, that's my whole point. That's my whole point. They ain't coming on a ship no more, because when they first came, they never left. After independence, Barbados, 1966. Imagine, it took them almost a decade to start the defense force. 1979. Why? Why did they even start that? Because that's why they turned those guns inward. We're not worried about, because originally it was to keep the pirates from coming on and taking Barbados. They weren't worried about Barbados because the plantocracy was running things a sort of way, and quote unquote, those who were enslaved knew their position because they had the slave catchers and whatnot, aka the police, the policy enforcers. We know who they are. They had that in place, so they wasn't worried. But from the time they realized, well, we're going to make you independent and you good to go, and they realized that those who were enslaved started to make a little capital and things started a little changing, like, well, wait a minute. What if the people realize what we're doing? What if they realize what we're really doing? Or they might flip on us. Well, look, quick. We need to establish a defense force. But the defense is not against any outsider. The defense is against the original people here who have been enslaved, who they're now looking to steal your birthright from you, your inheritance. They're trying to steal your inheritance, and that's what's going on. So now they got the defense. They take your children, convince your children, you need to join this ranks because we're going to make you good. Well, I don't know what Munch is giving Munch. I don't know what he's talking about. Keep in mind that a lot of these families, if they had the courage to tell you, a lot of these politicians, if they have the courage to tell you, if you could just do the research, you would discover a lot of their parents owned slaves, owned plantations. Let me go a different route. They owned plantations in this country. Don't put all the blame from the white man from Europe. Yeah, he was involved too, but he was the decoy to take the blame. A lot of these politicians, if you go in, that's why they're politicians, because they have always been ruling this particular corporation known as Barbados, whether as a colony or now as a country. They've been holding the wheel, family. Somebody said war games. This isn't a game no more, though, Sean. Correct, Emmanuel. Agree with you. Man, look, Thelma, this is what time we're living in here. The government knows who bringing the guns. Of course, shucks. Everybody know who bringing the guns. They said, but crime is a business. Gentrification, man. Anyhow, we're going to bring our guests in and we're going to discuss some of these issues and we're going to get to the meat of it. He's no stranger to this particular platform. Been on here on several occasions. Not recently, he's been busy traveling and touring and getting involved in different initiatives. And some events lately prompted this as well. We'll let him get into it himself. I'm just going to let this sit right here on the side for a minute. In fact, I'm going to take it off for now, but let it come back for a minute. Allow me to introduce our guest for the night, none other than our good brother Philip Springer. Yes. Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect. Go ahead and introduce yourself. You're no stranger. Introduce yourself, my brother. You I don't know if you might have to unmute. There you go. Click on that mic right there real quick. Somewhere in the bottom there on the screen. I don't know if I could.
Sorry,
see it?
I was muted.
There you go. Welcome.
Thank you. It is great to be back. And it's been long time, but I'm here tonight to stir up some heat, put some heat on some things that need to be ventilated.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for inviting me. And
yeah.
Greetings to all of you out there. I see Jim Lee there, Thelma, and some others on there. It is good to see you all, guys. You're still here with us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know you've been busy. I know you are head of a number of things. Give us a quick update. Let's get into what's been going on in Barbados, because we got to beat home drum for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, been busy. Just got back from Suriname. I was there for 1 week, doing some engagements with private as well as government there. More to come on that. But we're moving around quite a bit. Lots is happening. ADVI is now got a program for citizenship in Burkina, as well as we're organizing our next visit there. It looks like June. Of this year, 25, we'll be going there. We had a delegation go before, about 180 people. So this time I want about 30 Caribbean people in there. So guys, start saving up those 2 cents and we'll do the best we can to assist you.
Nice, sounds very interesting. If I could make that happen, I'll make it happen myself. Just got to fuel up the private. I just feel
you should be on that trip, Emmanuel. You should be on there. You're a leader in this community. Yeah, man.
Well, I'm a simple servant, man. I am a simple servant. I don't know if I'm a leader or not. I just know I just do what the Spirit.
Yes, but simple or not, we all have a role to play. We all have a role to play, brother. I do mine. Some people try to paint me as a politician and all kinds of stuff. I'm not. I'm a citizens activist. I'm here for the people.
Okay.
I took it upon myself to go do what had to be done. Okay.
But sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to step up and just take take it by the moment. Yes. Tell us about Barbados.
I have to show that off because a lot of times
that's quite all right.
You don't get the publicity and the all the notoriety.
No, Barbados Sovereignty Party. I remember we had plenty of conversations last selection regarding that. Tell us a bit about Barbados Sovereignty Party.
Yes.
Where you at?
Well, we're coming along. We're recruiting. We got about 17 persons. Yeah, we have about 17 persons at this point. We would like more, but we're taking our time to try to get a good cross-section of individuals. We want real people, citizens, activists, not politically elite people. We want people that are real people that can represent the interests of women out there. Bottom line is grassroots, and we're getting that traction. Yeah.
I think that someone was telling me recently that there was some.
I think they're playing around with your bandwidth.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was told somebody saying somebody shouting you out. Somebody shouting you out here. Hang on a second.
I think they're playing with the bandwidth at this point.
She's good. Is this guy who always on brass stacks? I don't know, Monica. I don't know to be on brass stacks at all. So I've been
on there one time.
And then this is Mr. Springer, Barbados Sovereignty Party. If you don't know, now you know. You know what I mean? If you don't know, now you know. Tell me. I've been hearing recently that a lot of other people that want to.
We're the party that took on the government.
Yes, and challenge the election. Tell me though, Mr. Springer, there, if you heard about this new party that's emerged, and the reason I'm asking that question because I don't think that a lot of people should reinvent the wheel. I think that some folks should come together, have conversations, and see how they can bring strength to each other, even if they form an alliance, rather than trying to constantly reinvent the wheel. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I agree with that. The problem that we've always had is that everybody wants to be the man. Everybody wants to be the one. And then that causes a lot of fragmentation. And we can't pull our energies together because it's too fragmented, it's too, split up. And as a result, we cannot fight the system that way. That's why we changed the name from party to union. We are now the Barbados Sovereignty Union, EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. We have made some alliances with people in other countries, which we hope to be able to support us and give us the strength that we're going to need to come and represent the people properly. It's not about trying to get power or trying to form a government or anything. It's about correcting the wrongs and keeping the ones that are there, keep their feet to the fire, make them do the right thing. I heard you talk about the Attorney General and he should be fired and this and that. And for the people, they're asking you for your support, and then for the next 4 or so years, they do their own private bidding for themselves. And that is the unfortunate thing with this Westminster system that we adopted from the colonial. The colonials gave us this. We were independent. At no time were we independent. Then they said, oh, now we're a republic. Where's the Constitution that says that we're a republic? You don't go republic and then write the Constitution after. It doesn't make sense.
Unless, of course,
they're doing everything. backwards. Well, you know, and now they say we're what? A parliamentary republic, which
Yeah.
means that only 30 people, the 30 people elected
Make
to the
decisions.
government, to the office,
That's right.
have
That's right. That's right. Once you understand that, you're good to go. So you don't need no constitution. We'll take it from here. You just get back to work. Just get back to work.
exactly.
That's where
Just
we
a
at.
soft dictatorship. That's all it is.
But you know what? And I've learned this in my time, Brother Phil, that a lot of people would just rather be led than to lead. A lot of people would rather be, you know, governed than to govern.
Correct.
So as much as you and I could sit here and
Yes.
say that, realize that unless we make people aware of what they're unaware of, then they'll never move from that position, and one way or the other. And I think it's important for anyone who's coming forward now to say that they're looking to represent the people to first understand the mindset of who they want to represent. So because you see it a certain way, and there's people that you affiliate with see it a
Yes.
certain way, does not mean that everybody see it that way. And you must understand that. It is imperative. So tell us what your views are regarding the situation with crime. When I said the attorney general, not fired, he shouldn't be fired as a matter of integrity and principles, failing the youths of this nation, failing the mothers of this nation, failing the people of this nation, as a matter of principle and honor. And honor, he should step down. If he's any man of principle, integrity, and honor, he should step down.
Okay.
Because
Let,
he
let
has-
me address this way. Let me address this way. I'll ask a question to answer the question. Tell me
Okay.
what country or island. Tell me which island in the Caribbean manufactures guns or bullets. Let's forget about a country. Which country, anyone in this region that produces a gun or a bullet? Tell me which
But
one.
I'm unaware. I'm unaware.
I'm not aware of any either. So now let me go a little wider. Show me which black country other than South Africa that does gun manufacturing. And we know why South Africa has gun manufacturing.
But who
There
owns
isn't one.
who owns the factory in South Africa? That's the question you have to ask. You know?
There you go. There you
You know,
go. Not us, that's for sure.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So
But let's go. Let's come back home now. Let's come
okay.
home. Let's get a little closer to home. We see this uptick in violent crime, and I mean violent crime. Come on. We can't ignore the shootings and all of the stuff that's going on. But that, again, is part of the agenda in order to marshal in the laws that they want to bring in to limit and to usurp your rights, your constitutional rights. So they will do that to help build the policies that they'll put in the Constitution. Now, after the fact, they went republic, and now they will build the rules to suit the type of republic that they want, which means that a lot of your rights are going to be extinguished. I heard you speaking about gentrification. I read something recently, Emmanuel, that said we've lost close to 60,000 people of our population in the last 4 to 5 years. That's a statistic that was printed. I don't remember where it is now. Try to find it again. But 60,000 of our people, we're losing people at an average of 5,000 a month or something to that extent at this point.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
how is that?
Well,
That's a tremendous uptick in the death rates. And we're seeing them. A lot of young people are suffering with strokes right now. A lot of, and I'm not talking old people that have lived their lives or whatever. Young people are having strokes at very early ages and even dropping down dead. Why? I see that a coroner gave some judge gave an order to have the doctor who tried to save the life of the prime minister's brother now stands liable for trying to save that life. Now that sounds to me like something you would see in Canada or the United States, where you take liability on, even though you didn't cause the problem, but because you administered or serviced that individual, all of a sudden you're liable. When they gave you the jab, they told you that the drug companies had immunity.
All I'm going to tell you about that, though, is remember Michael Jackson and his doctor. You see? So somebody got to take the blame away from. So let's not be naive and think that this is just happening by accident and it's random. It's all orchestrated and it's playing out right in front of our eyes. And we know this. Let me ask you a question, though. If you were elected tomorrow, let's say elections were tomorrow, you were called and you won the seat by majority, and you find yourself as Prime Minister of Barbados. On day number 1, what is your first set of items to address?
What's the first thing we want to do on day number 1?
Day number 1.
The first issue is the Constitution. It has to be ratified, and it has to be a people's constitution.
Do you revoke?
It has to.
The republic status. Can you revoke that? Can you revoke the republic status? Is that a possibility? I mean, if there's no constitution, if the republic doesn't have a constitution, and you get the position that you're in that position,
well, I would have to seek advice on that, but I would think it can be, because it was done without any form of input from the people. There were no referendums in place. Nobody knew what the terms of the republic was. We still don't know. We've seen them running around for the past 2 years with these town hall meetings, but we still don't have a constitution.
Wow.
So what does that tell you?
Well,
I think after the first 6 months and they didn't have a constitution, it should have been revoked. An election should have been called. And start all over again. And not a snap election like they did the last time. The smallest number of days, 21, is what you can have in an election. 7 days to register and so on, and 14 days to campaign. And on day 1, they had their signs out, which tells me that a lot of politics going on there. Even the DLP wasn't ready.
I don't know if the DLP was ever ready, quite frankly. But
I don't think they're even ready now.
I'm
that's a whole nother show.
I am barred from mentioning he who should not be mentioned on this platform. I can't. I'm not supposed to speak his name. But anyhow, it comes up occasionally. My thing is, what else would you do on your day 1 for the people of Barbados, who are listening to you?
Well, the next thing that you have to do immediately is the next thing after you have the Constitution sorted, or you make the record that the Constitution will be corrected, you start to give people their sovereignty. And that's important to understand what sovereignty means.
Okay, tell us.
We've been going down this thing with BLP and DLP, Labour Party, once them. Now, that worked well under colonialism. But it is like, since then, we went independent and we still have these parties. And now we're republic and we still have these 2 parties that don't represent our interests. They serve the King of England now. When the Queen died, what happened? All these guys changed their title from QC to KC, but they say you're a republic. How does that work? We still walk around calling people sir this and sir that and all this monkey business. How does that work in a republic that doesn't exist? You are sovereign to your country. You're a loyalist of your country. No other republic I know has KCs or call their citizens sir anything. Or that's an insult. That's an insult to our intelligence, Emmanuel.
Maybe Barbados is like the Church of Laodiceans. I don't know. That's one for the brain there. And so, what else? Tell us what else. I mean, that's 2 valid points you brought up. Very valid points.
The third thing we have to get control of is our educational system. We have to stop this propagandization, this colonialism that we are taught white history as though it is the only story.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to look at our educational system. That has to be
Sure.
reformed.
For sure.
Our health system has to be reformed. We need better health care. Fourthly, this is fifth now. I will say this, and I have been working on this for about 5 years. The Rastafari must be recognized as an official culture, not just a religion, but culture as well. I think the Rastafari has done enough and has made sufficient contribution in this whole Caribbean region, not just Barbados, the entire region, that I think it is time that they stop being persecuted for living their life and the customs and traditions that they have espoused over the years. It brought a lot of culture, a lot of positiveness to the whole Caribbean region. And we need to recognize that. I think Antigua took those steps a few years ago.
Well, to some degree, I think that any
apology in this
apology
region need to give the Rastafari recognition.
Yeah, I think that he did make an effort to make something happen. I think any form of apology should follow restoration and compensation. That's my 2 cents about that. It's okay to tell me you're sorry, you broke my windscreen, but if you could afford to replace the windscreen,
Listen,
I think you should replace my windscreen. Don't just tell me sorry and go ahead and go work on getting a new one. I think you should replace it, but that's another conversation.
Yes,
but
then we have to look at the next thing is I think they're playing with your bandwidth here because they're making us talk over each other for whatever reason. But that we know the games. The next thing is this economy. We are putting a lot of people out of business. Barbados has survived on a cottage industry for many years, despite the fact that sugarcane was the main industry at one time, then it went to tourism. People had to supplement themselves with their little hustle, and a lot of people today do not and is legally not able to do that because of the rules of engagement. We must give the people back the ability to make that $50 or $100, grow 2 pigs, grow a chicken, bake a bread. That's how it worked. And we've gone away from that to try to adapt the Western system. And we don't have the tools to do it. We just don't have the tools. We don't have manufacturing plants. We don't have all of the things that people in the Western countries can go punch their time clock Monday and Friday and get paid. We have to create jobs. Agriculture has to be a very big part of any government.
For sure.
Any government in this region has to grow their own food. And all this imported crap. I see what they're bringing in, and I'm telling you something. I bought some cabbage. I won't say which supermarket, but it was fake. I bought eggs, fake.
Oh man.
It's terrible.
You better.
What are they doing?
You better get with the Rasta liberty here. I mean, there's some things you're gonna have. Like you said, you got to start doing certain things as best you can. As best you can. Pedro, know what time it is already, man.
I have a lot of Rasta friends.
Sean said you can't serve 2 masters.
My Rasta friends, Paul, all of them, yourself, Lumumba. Look, it is time that you can walk down the street and not be harassed by the law or the parliament, or you should have your own representative in the parliament, and that's what we intend to do. But not just Rastafarianism. We have to bring a broad-based section of the population. The government should reflect the population, what the people look like, understand the needs of the people, not some elite political class people that they can't make enough money as a lawyer or a failed doctor or whatever, and they go and the next thing they do is they run for office because they're guaranteed paycheck every month. You ever see a politician not paid? Okay, and most of them can't do the jobs that they're appointed to.
a lot of the politicians are children of the plantocracy here. These is generational and slave owners, and as much as they try to burn the records here and there and hide the records,
I would like.
Some people know. But
I would like to.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I got to correct you on one thing.
I would like to see that on the day of campaign, the election is called, that you see a group of individuals who are regular, ordinary citizens, the mechanic, the garbage collector, right, the shoemaker. Go pay your $250 and stand up for your rights. You don't necessarily have to get elected, but the point is you're gonna have a right to speak your mind, and you have a right to keep these people in line. And if you abdicate constantly and allow these people to do what they want to do without being challenged, they will get away with it. And that's what we've been doing. We've been resting on our laurels the whole time. You talked about the defense force. I was watching all those videos you were showing, and they're preparing for riots and all these things. I see it too, and I say to myself, look, the equipment that they brought in here, military equipment, to do what? Knock down somebody's little 1,200 square foot or 1,000 square foot wooden house or something? What's up with all of that? Why are we spending this absorbent amount of money to try to intimidate the people that are at best pretty passive? It doesn't make sense. So you're expecting a war. Who are you expecting the war with? Are you importing these people? Are they aliens? I think that's probably what's going to happen, because Barbadians are not. That's not their culture.
Maybe Donald Trump will deport some El Salvadorians.
I want to see. We don't want to talk about him. That's a whole nother mess right there. And you know what? So many people that thought he was the second coming of Jesus Christ, they're going to end up getting deported. Right now, he's deporting people in a large quantity. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to feel that too.
Of course.
And a lot of those people are going to come back feeling very dejected that they've been sent, back home, even though they didn't want to. And we'll have problems in society just because of that. I mean, I lived overseas most of my life too, so I know how that is. But I didn't come because I was forced to. I came because I wanted to. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Well, let me ask you a question there.
People, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a delay, a time delay, and that's what's causing that overlap. Those experiencing conflict. Let me ask you a question here. When you look at Barbados now, the brother Ant's land tax reform as well, he threw that at you. When you look at Barbados now in terms of land and how people are, this new bill they're talking about, if you don't clear your lot by a certain time, the government could take it and sell it to whoever to cover the cost of cleaning it or whatever. What's your thoughts on land and land reform or redistribution of land when it comes to Barbados and the plantocracy?
Why don't they go and take tract plantation and cut it up and give some people that need some land and stop all this nonsense? Why are you going to take people's land? Yes, they may have moved or gone overseas or whatever. Property has some grass growing there or something. It's not the end of the world. You're actually, what you're doing is you're diminishing the economics of your people. You're actually taking away by seizing their land and expropriating their lands. What you're doing is taking away the local people, because the foreigners will come with foreign dollars that is worth twice as much as ours, buy the property, live better than you will, and you, the local, have to work twice as hard to maintain that. And when you run into a little trouble, the banks don't want to see you. The credit unions now are just as bad as the banks because they're acting like banks themselves, but they're not. Right? They collect all your money, and every week they take it to the white man bank and give it to him and says, oh, you hold that for me, because they can't act as a bank. So the white man's sitting there laughing. He's happy. You know why? He got us doing the work for him. So if we collect $2 million this week, it gone into Royal or one of these banks, Scotia, one of them, and they got their buddies sitting down there waiting
To
to
invest
go
that.
do his business with your money.
Of course. Of course. But it's better to
So
support.
why aren't our credit unions able to have all banking regulations that would allow our people to control their own money?
Because those are not all credit unions, Phil. The illusion of inclusion. You know what I'm saying? The illusion of inclusion. That's what's up.
I heard you talk about the gangs in Haiti. I've been making notes, you know, while you were talking, I've been making my notes. The gangs in Haiti. I interviewed Barbecue. Barbecue is a former police officer who just decided he had enough of the abuse. And the media and everybody now wants to make him out to be some gang leader, and the man is not. He's been offered passage to France, the United States, and Canada just to leave Haiti, and he refuses to. So you know what? They'll come after him, and eventually somebody will take 30 pieces of silver and put 2 plugs in him.
You know how it
But
goes.
he's okay with that. You know, not that he wants to die, but the point is that he, you know, he's going to fight it out. We have Kamal France Mohammed, another kid that grew up with me in Canada, in Montreal. And he's back in Haiti now, and he went in the mountains, got a bunch of land in the mountains. If you see the work this man is doing, Emmanuel, a whole village sprung up there, and they're planting their food and doing a tremendous job up in there. I would love to invite him on your show.
Well, put that work in. Put that work in. Put the work in, man. My thing right now, Barbadians got to recognize that there are people who want this land. And that's, if you were in doubts before, you could see that almost everything they're looking to put in place takes away, every new law takes some aspect of freedom from you. The reason why Barbadians are not resistant in a manner that they should resist as yet, however, the security forces are clearly training for a day such as that, is because Barbadians as a people, according to the documentation of Barbados, have never known freedom, because they came into a system, born into a system of servitude, colonial rulership by different parties, including the BLP, then transitioned into this thing called independent by a former BLP splinter that created a DLP. And from then, as an independent nation, which it wasn't a nation, it's an independent company, separate from the corporation head office subsidiary, we are under the impression that we are independent as a nation, and in reality, it's independent from the corporation, but it was once a subsidiary. So now it functions separately and manages its own portfolio. So what has happened basically is that the workers are now beginning to see that, hey, look, man, this union ain't dealing with us right, and we might want to strike. The problem is, if you think about striking, there are security forces to put you back in line with intimidation, or worse yet. So here we are now. You're not used to freedom, so you can't fight for what you never had. So it's going to have to take a whole lot more of taking from the people who, as far as they're concerned, like the frog in the water, I'll just adjust to the prices. I'll just adjust to the inflation. I'll just adjust to the fact that food is becoming, the resources becoming limited. I'll just adjust to the fact that the cost of everything, construction, is increasing. I'll just keep adjusting. At some point, you won't be able to adjust anymore. Then what?
The noose will be too tight. And beyond that, I have a question. I have a question for you.
Sure.
We see all of these changes going on, but it's not just Barbados. I mean, come on. We see it all around the world. So my question is, who are the architects of this mechanism, this madness that is going on? We hear about the WEF. We hear about the World Health Organization, and we hear about all these wonderful letters that they call around, including the people that have different sexual orientations, okay? And we'll talk about that tonight. But the point is, today we are a letter society. We live in the letters. And we need to stop that. We need to see that it starts and begins with you. You're a sovereign person. You must act sovereign, which means that you would treat me no worse than you would treat yourself, and hopefully better. And if everyone does that towards each other, we would have a much better society, much more understanding. The child going down the street would be safe to travel. The crime would reduce because you're somebody's brother, you're somebody's sister, you're somebody's mother, you're somebody's auntie, you're somebody's daddy.
Mm-hmm.
When they separated us during COVID and told us we couldn't even stand but 6 feet apart, that was the test. Now wants to get you separated and you don't remember who I am and I don't remember who you are. Now it's easy for me to put my gun on you, or you put your gun on me, or your sword, or whatever. We've become a much more heartless society, a much more clinical society under this circumstance. Okay, and that was by design. None of what we're seeing, folks, is an accident. It isn't. They don't sit down and think what's in your best interest. They think what's in their best interest. Show me one politician on either side of this divide
One
who actually has anybody's best interest at heart other than their own paycheck. Show me one. I'll wait.
What I would say to that, right, is that there's a verse in the scripture that says, "My people are destroyed for lacking knowledge," and there are a number of truths. When we become mature enough, we can have certain conversations. Because as someone grew up in Barbados, you would always say when you're in a room full of adults, children should be seen and not heard. But in reality, we have a lot of adults who are not comfortable enough to have certain conversations. So we could recognize that as a people, a lot has been done to us, and we can recognize a lot more is still being done to us. But when will we reach maturity that we could sit and have a conversation about these things, in order that we don't find ourselves repeating a lot of the mistakes our forefathers made? We have to become mature enough consciously to have certain conversations. Other than that, like you said, it's going to continue for the fact that people, especially Caribbean people, who have never known freedom, they'll never be able to recognize what freedom is that is being deprived from them, withheld from them. Because here's the thing. When you look at that clip with the Defense Force and whatnot, I did not see any Syrians involved in that, and there have Syrians in Barbados who are nationals, according to what they'll tell you. I didn't see any Chinese in those training. I didn't see any what they call the white Bajans. I didn't see any of those. I definitely did not see any of the Indian community. Perhaps eventually you might find one or two people that's merging in for their own tactical reasons. But at present, it is really us versus us, man, as it always has been.
That's it. That's it. We're trained to destroy ourselves, first and foremost. And let me go back to something you said. The children are told better to be seen and not heard. Go outside. This is big people's business, right? But look what the Chinaman does. He puts his child in the store, and where does he put him? Right behind the cash register. The Indian do the same. The Syrian do the same. The white man, he hired black people to work for him. He looked down at you from a camera somewhere on a platform, a mezzanine, okay? And we go about like robots, and we take our people's money and we put it in their cash register, but you can't touch the cash register because you have to hand it to the Indian man or the young Indian child who's younger than you, and he handles the money. Now when it comes time for our children to compete with them, you can't, because you don't know what money is. You don't know how to run a business. You can't compete. It doesn't start when you're 30 years old or 40 years old. It starts from birth, when you're a child, sitting with your parents and listening to the conversation, knowing where to buy the best goods, knowing where to buy the cheapest thing and sell it to the black people at the highest price. All these things are stuff that's discussed at the dinner table. But we tell our kids go and play, go in the next room or go outside and play. They have no chance. They cannot compete, Emmanuel. I don't care how much education you got. All that education is going to do is give you the power to make them better, because you're trained to fall into that position. And guess what? There are a lot of black people out there running successful businesses, but they don't own them.
Tell me about it.
They're working for somebody else.
What I go and throw in here, Phil, is at this point, what we got to do is realize if we do not create that legacy for our children, in reality, we are literally shuttling or ushering our children into another form of purpose. Well, I don't even put it that way because I don't want to say it that way, but a level of enslavement that'll make the last go round look like all expense paid vacation. I don't want to say it's perpetual because I don't want to even put that out there, but I'm saying that we who are here now have a fiduciary obligation to change the paradigm of things. And that's why the collectiveness is necessary. Before you go, Phil, give us a closing parting thought. Give us a closing parting word. From
well, I want to first, before I go, talk about this sixth region election, this fraud that's going on. That some people, I was involved with that.
Wait a minute.
I cannot get a straight answer from the organizer. Not organizers. The organizer, one person who is trying to, I don't know what the ultimate goal is, but I was contacted 3 months ago. As the CEO of ADDI, they felt that I would have been a good person to marshal people together. At that time, I was told the AU and ECOSOC was behind it. A couple of weeks later, a cease and desist order letter was issued on the organizer to say, you can't do this. We didn't authorize you to do this. Then they changed the name to United States of Africa. And when that kind of blew up, they came back with some African Diaspora Council or something. So 3 names in 3 months. I asked to see who are the parties behind this thing. Only one person so far I've ever seen or heard from. The same party. My point is this. I have spoken to people involved in the AU and ECOSOC, and they have made it very clear that these elections are not sanctioned. They will allow for elections, but that is something on the books that they're trying to develop even as we speak. But it seems like some individuals think that they got to go beg the AU to be heard and to be seen. I want to tell my people here in the Caribbean, boycott this thing. Do not allow yourself to come down on the wrong side of history. Do not do that. I can assure you that the incoming president of the African Union has already given his word that he will work with the 6th region and the Caribbean in particular to bring us home, get us into the discussion, get us to the table. But you can't preempt that and jump and go and one of the people running, let me show you. I received an anonymous posting last night from someone. And one of the people running in that election has a major criminal record in the United States for a $300,000 fraud that they created. And you tell me that we're going to elect somebody, put them up there with that type of record. It was sent to me. Now, I won't call the person's name. It's not anyone here in the Caribbean. But the point is, the organizers have not vetted these people. They don't know what they're really doing. No organizers, there's only one person. And as a result, what we have is an attempt to create more confusion and chaos. I'll leave it at that. I've said enough on that. My last words, Emmanuel, is that Barbados, get ready, get ready, get ready. An election will be called, and I suspect it'll be mid-year. We are still in court. We've gone through 2 hurdles already, and we've been successful. We're at the last hurdle now, and I believe we will be successful. And that is about to be completed in June. And I believe you will see an election called at that time. That is my word.
Well, if
and
you
all
win,
I'm saying
you have
is
to get an
it's
election
time for
called.
change. It doesn't matter
Wow.
if you vote for Philip Springer or Mia Motley. The point is, get on the right side of history. It will matter in the end. But right now, it isn't a case that we're looking to gain power or something. We want what is right for the people of Barbados. I live here. I have to have the right kind of environment for me and my family and my friends and my friends' friends, my neighbors. And if we can't have that, what is the point? What is the point?
I see you. I see you. Harmony.
So get ready
Unity.
and go out there, get your local candidates together and your citizens activists, and go out there and make a difference. Let us make some change, real change. Thank you, Ignacio.
Wonderful, wonderful. Phil, I want to thank you again for coming and sharing as always. You know, like you said earlier, it's about the work and, you know, be able to create those opportunities for the people. Because as it is right now, just stand on the sideline and watching, you'll see there's a lot of things being taken off the table one at a time. But if you're not paying attention, you won't even notice it. Like the frog in the water, Phil, everybody's adjusting to the climate, making themselves to the situation. And in reality, man, you know, this thing, it's going to render you paralyzed in you know, in that position, man. We gotta connect and have a conversation about some other stuff in a not too distant future. But thanks again for sharing, and hopefully
Let's
you come
do
through
that.
again. Give thanks. Shalom, shalom, my brother.
Thank you, and thanks to all your guests. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. All right, my brother. Yes, that's Mr. Philip Springer. Y'all already know from Barbados Sovereignty Union. You know, it's about collective security for surety, bringing the people together. I got a video here I also want to share. This is this brother here. I came across this on CBC News, and I thought it was, again, interesting because, like Phil said, you know, all the different parties, it creates a fragmented system rather than collective unity and forming an alliances, which I just think they should form alliances, have a sit down and discuss if we're going in the same direction. But you know, maybe, I don't know. I mean, most of y'all would have seen this by now, I'm sure. But I want to speak on one or two things I thought was quite interesting. I'll hopefully make this quick.
That alternative leadership choice.
Let me pull this from the beginning.
So we see ourselves as that alternative leadership choice because we believe we have the ability, we believe that we have the necessary vision, not just by the word of mouth, but we have written vision. We have seen all of the loans.
I think this is a different play speed. I don't want to make him sound like he's a chipmunk. that would be doing the brother any justice. So don't worry. I pull it from the beginning. Let me just run this real quick.
So we see ourselves as that alternative leadership choice because we believe we have the ability, we believe that we have the necessary vision, not just by the word of mouth, but we have written vision. We have seen all of the loans that we are burdening our Barbadian populace with, and we have solutions for those. Not just like this, we have the way to put these measures in place to counter what we see that by 2030 we don't want Barbadians to be in a position where they can't support, the average Barbadian can't support their family. The average Barbadian is not living in a comfortable home. But we have a vision so that by 2030 and even further, 2050, 2060, we have a plan for successive generations of Barbadians to be not just successful, not be prosperous, but also feel that they are a part of a country that is moving in a direction where they are the priority, where the Barbadian taxpayer, the hard-working taxpayer is the priority and not just someone's option. So
you see that the way I look at your structure,
okay, I'll let it.
and I somewhat want to understand it. I see you have, you said as president, vice president, treasurers, and general secretary. Is this the beginner core group, and then you will formulate, you will form people to bring into the organization,
Indeed.
to run for different parishes or different positions, or this core group is how you're going to set up with a general secretary who will run your organization?
Well,
Tell me.
Structure is always important, and structure is for administrative purposes. So this is just the beginning. This core group that you see here, it's just the beginning of the structure that we put in place to carry forward the administrative vision of the party. But structure is always subject to change. So we can't say that this will always be the structure of the party. But from what you see here, and our analysis and our vision for the party moving forward, even as it relates to going into another general election, we believe that this is the best structure at this time to carry forward the vision of the party.
Okay, I just want to, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, this is the Conservative Barbados Loyalist Party, CBLP. I have concerns. I have concerns. Don't get me wrong. If anybody knows this young man or anybody here, make sure my number's on the screen. Please message him and tell him give me a shout. Let's see if we can have a conversation, because I invite everyone to come on Politically Incorrect. Only certain people, take that offer up, but they all have been given the opportunity to come, and I mean all. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. So let's see this brother comes on and we can have a conversation. At least I admire the fact that people are looking to represent and step up and represent. People are told, yeah, people stepping up. It's not even about stepping up. Anybody could. Ninja Man could step up. I don't know if people still feel the same way. So let's not act as if stepping up is some sort of qualification. It is what you bring into the table when you step up. I think that's what's most important. So like, I personally don't want to hear you have a plan. I want to hear the plan, me personally. But that's just for those who are into politics, into the idea of politics and that kind of thing. I used to think a certain way. When I became a man, I put away childish things. That's my response to that. But again, the brother says he wants to make a difference. I like to have a conversation and dialogue with the whole crew if possible. That'd be good. Bring them all on Politically Incorrect. Let's give the brother a platform to speak. Yeah, he went on The Nation, so I'm sure he would be willing to come on the platform. Yes, Daffodil, we know. Fade, shout out to Fade again, man. Shout out to the Fade family. Things been quiet for a minute. Barbados National Congress, well, seemingly quiet. They say watch pot don't boil. You put something in the oven, you baking it, you might go and check on it, but at some point you gotta take it out and you put it on the stove and it just you can smell it, man. It ready. So it's almost time to pop the oven open, man. It's that time. We've been baking. We've been baking that dough. Try to get that dough right now for the let me stop. But like I said, this brother right here, I don't want to go through this and point out some stuff that there's one or two things I didn't like that he said. Well, not didn't like. I'm concerned when he talked about by 2030, the average Barbadian or the average Bajan, the term is used as vernacular for the culture. But what do you mean by average? When you say average, what do you mean? Middle class? Because the have and the have-nots. The average would be the middle, and the middle class is being eroded as we speak. So I know one Barbados, man. Whatever we're doing, whatever plans we have, it has to serve all Barbadians. It can be some Barbadians and then not some. So perhaps it's just a misunderstanding from my perspective, how I'm hearing it. The average Barbadian, no Barbadian in 2030 should not be in a position where they can't afford living, period, or the housing, or the cost of high prices of food and whatnot. We should never be, no one in Barbados should ever be in that position, period. Not just a certain select group. But like I said, that's just perhaps my interpretation. But that's what happens when you put yourself in that limelight in public domain, like even Politically Incorrect. folks will call me, and not everybody agrees with my perspective. Not everybody agree with some of the things I say, and sometimes I'm corrected as well, and I'm open to correction. So that's all good, man. But I like to speak with the young man, if possible. If anybody know him, they could always, pass on the information. Them could give you a plan and still do whatever them feel like doing. Yeah, Pedro, I give thanks for that. That's the reality. But at the very least, then we could hold you accountable for what you said you was going to do, even if you didn't do it. Like I said, they're marshal trying to open up martial law, no pun intended. But now we can see why he's the marshal. I'm sure we checked Mr. Marshall's background, his family. Maybe it goes back to a plantation. Who knows? The point I want to make is that none of this is by chance. Tony Moore, her family, the Moore from St. George in that particular area, they had plantations. I don't know if she's a direct descendant of that family, but who knows? I'm just saying a lot of these so-called MPs, members of parliament, have affiliation or have pedigree, to use the term loosely. But time will tell. So having said that, though, this is the nation group. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there, though. Anyhow, family, there was somebody. Let me see if I have that one. Do I have it? For those, if you weren't here earlier, we were discussing the issues about state of emergency. Is this urban warfare? And that was the whole issue. If you missed the videos earlier, you got to go and see this particular video. Barbados Defense Force being trained in civil unrest deliberately, especially in these times. And because we need to pay attention, family. Need to pay attention because there's some things on the horizon. And if you can't see, then you better wake yourself up. Bottom line. Pedro Sean is saying, rely on yourself. God help those who help themselves. We are the only real Barbadians known to the world, aka Godspeed. The PM ain't increasing the BDF for fun. Yeah, the 200. Yeah, 200s. Man, I don't even want to look, family. Yeah, and all young men are not equipped mentally, emotionally, physically, to even engage in this. The fact that they bring in a presence in the community, what's that supposed to do? Like, what's the whole point of that? What's the whole point of that, family? Telling you, man, this thing right here, you could see a play playing out when you know one. Shakespeare would have written, I'm sure, something similar to this at his point in time when he was in his time. All this is just a new version of it. Same script, different cast, man. Problem, reaction, solution. Let's not fall victim to it. Let's start to recognize, like I said, family, we got to start to look at self. Look at self and how you build self. Phil talked about sovereignty. We got to look at self, how we build self, how we teach our children. The truth we start to tell our children, especially when it comes to religion. We got to be honest about this. We got to be honest about this. And this is not to insult anybody's preference or choice, but understand that they taught you about Jesus. They taught you that, which is fine if you accept that. That's not a problem. There are many principles that can take you a lot further in life. But let's be honest about it. Taught you to demonize your own, reject your own ancestors that you are a product of, while we embrace theirs and everything they stood for and everything they did to us. The kind of psychosis that is necessary to make that effective is why we are in the position we're in today. The reason why our children are the way they are, because of the same psychosis we pass on to them today. Whereas every other culture that practiced their original culture seemed to somehow miraculously succeed. But we don't get it, though. We don't know who we are. That's all it is. Time to know yourself, family, so that you don't have these guys and your own brother looking just like you in riot gear coming for you on behalf of those that are looking to sell this property via gentrification. for the highest bidder. Y'all gotta go watch this video, man. Go listen. Go watch this video right here. Go watch that. Go watch that. The link is down there somewhere. In fact, I'll put it up again. I'll put it up again. Finally, Barbados. Listen, family. Land for sale. So if all the land is for sale and you can't afford to buy any, what are you going to leave for your children and your children's children? Especially if they don't have no job to pay the land tax or to pay to get the land clean. They're going to lose it. We cannot sit back on this, family. We cannot. I mean, lines got to be drawn. When the history books are written, don't let it say that you lay down and play dead. Man, look, what time is it? I'm out of here, man. Said enough. I got 2 tunes I want to play tonight, though, family. I want my good brothers and sisters and my Christian folks to stick around. It's really a message. I'll play the message first. I'll play the first message, then I'll play the second one. Yeah. Let me do this, family. Let me do this, man. As always, man, I give thanks. History before English. Hold on, wait. Something coming down. Hold on, I got some comments. Let me just throw the comments up really quick. Support the family. The only thing stopping us from God's speed is ourselves. Facts, man. Got to know yourself, family. Start having family meetings. I keep telling y'all, discuss this food issue. Where the food coming from? Community program, churches. The churches got to come together, organize yourself. PTA meetings with the schools. Oh, by the way, speaking of school and violence, there's a particular school in Barbados recently that had an altercation, in case y'all didn't hear this, where a student had an altercation with a teacher. But from what I'm understanding, the teacher, I guess, interfered with the student maybe one too many times, and the student basically assaulted the teacher. What I'm hearing is that, again, when you see these things happening, our children are crying out for help in different ways. The question is, who's listening? Because a child ain't gonna just get up and assault a male teacher, and it was a male teacher, by the way, and it was a male student who apparently got the upper hand on a teacher. I don't know why he put himself in that position, if that is how it happened. And like I said, I ain't gonna call the name of the school, although I would love to call the name of the school. If they're watching this, they know exactly why I would love to call the name of the school, but I'm gonna let it slide for the sake of the child and the sake of the teacher. But we got to keep an eye on our children. We got to talk to our children. We got to let them know, listen, don't walk into danger, because the system is designed to take you and put you somewhere far for a long time, man. We got to talk to our children, family. We got to talk to the youths, man. I rely on myself, buddy. They could take it heed on Marcus' prophecy for Barbados. Well, this part of Marcus, apparently, I don't know, this is crazy, man. If we forget our history, we're doomed to repeat it. Something coming down the line, yes, Telma, but we see it, so, we know what we need to do. History before inclusion solves our projects and problems. Serious. Other cultures self-segregate. Serious, Pedro. Never know their true history. Their legacy, man. Get your point. I see you, Lee. They're waiting for the guy to come out of the sky to raise the dead from Westbury Cemetery. They are waiting for the sign to do something. You know what, Sean? I fully get it, because I used to go to church too. I was in that state of mind. I get it. So we can't fault a brother or sister for doing what we know they don't know. All we could do is what we know to do. That the brother said, too much is given, much more is required. So we got our work to do. In spite of the fact that our brothers might still be in Egypt and they didn't want to leave Egypt, and we who had the ability and the strength to go with our leader, and we crossed that Red Sea and we went to that promised land. Believe it or not, even those who left Egypt, not all made it to the promised land, because a lot of the older folks were too stiff-necked. And even God said it, y'all just too stiff-necked. So I'm going to take the young people who could see the vision. And again, shout out to the youth I saw tonight, man. I ain't going to call no names. Yo, I love the youths. There's a lot of positive youths out there. A lot of them. So all this defense force and stuff, Mr. Attorney General, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. You need to resign as a matter of integrity, principles, and morals, man. Because at this point, clearly you don't have none of the above. And that's why I'm saying that. I don't too much get into stuff. Mr. Wilfred Airburn, he already know why I told him about his situation, regardless if he stayed in position. Because you stay don't mean you off the hook. There's a spiritual judgment. Whether you subscribe to it or not, whether you think or not, whether you recognize the compass and the square got to be accurate if you're going to be brandishing them. There's a judgment. Haile Selassie the first. Rastafari. I saw it go, you know. Straight. You know, but no apology. We make them rich everywhere, every time. It's a fact. Good night, family. Don't go yet, family. I got a message for my people tonight. I got a message for everyone, regardless of what you subscribe to or not. Off of our legacy, straight. I got a message. Hold on, I got to put it on. Hold on, let me get it. Shout out to the family, by the way, NYC and well, the other place, Delaware and the other place. Y'all know where you at, man. I ain't gonna call too many names. But this is the tune I want to put on right here. I got to play this tonight. Got to play this by Maccabee. Health is wealth. This is a message for everybody, so don't leave yet. It's a message. I want y'all to get the message, man. Shout out to my family in TNT, by the way. In fact, you got to give me a call. Yes, I'm talking to you. You got to give me a call. If not tonight, call me first light. Especially you. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. First thing in the morning, you need to call me about what's going on the ground in Trinidad. We want to update straight up. Anyhow, for all my people, man.
You know that health is wealth and ital is vital. They're not just some rhyming words. It's something that's just got to be heard. Who is responsible for your health? Look in the mirror, it's your very own self. You can't rely on nobody else. Health is wealth, ital is vital. Try and take care of yourself. Health is wealth, ital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Health is wealth, ital is vital. Try and take care of yourself. Health is wealth, ital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Tracking with the herb at the field for the healing of the nation. Fruit and vegetable for medication. So much food, so much variation. Sustenance for all generation. It's there in abundance. Vitamins and minerals and whole heap of nutrients. Anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. Give your temple a chance, cause health is wealth. Ital is vital. You gotta take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Ital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Health is wealth. Ital is vital. Try and take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Ital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Vegan, we're vegan. Plant-based, we say. Long time Rastafari. Say I dey so he dey. Ital, we ital. Nah go no way. Under we roots and we fruits and we vegetable all the way. Cause health is wealth. Ital is vital. You gotta take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Ital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Health is wealth. Ital is vital. Try and take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Ital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Don't you realize your body is a temple? Certain vitamins, they are essential. Some things are too detrimental. Stop you fulfill your potential. Even if you go pharmaceutical, try balance it with the natural. Some food and no food, it is chemical. Have to stop it too much animal. And then you will see you start operate at a different frequency. Your mind and body get in tune to the elements and treat them accordingly, compassionately. You don't want to hurt nobody and you want to live consciously. It's I, Maccabee. Try and be the best you can be, cause health is wealth. Vital is vital. You gotta take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Vital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Health is wealth. Vital is vital. Try and take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Vital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Mr. Prevention is better than cure. You can't rely on the system no more. Say all over the West, the healthcare in a mess, especially for the poor, that's for sure. Eat good exercise and try your best. Might be seeing the doctor less and less. In your own health, you have to invest. It's in the best of your interest, cause health is wealth. Vital is vital. Try and take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Vital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else. Health is wealth. Vital is vital. Try and take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Vital is vital. You can't rely on nobody else.
Health is wealth, man. Big shout to Micah B on that tune. That tune there hard though. Look. That's one of them tunes you wake up and work out too, man. Put that workout in first thing late in the morning. Look, when you get up first, like, make it happen. Daffodil, I hope you putting in all that work and that cold climate up there in the north here. Serious lyrics for sure. Yes, boom. That's a big tune for sure, family. For sure. Listen though, you gotta take care of yourself, take care of your temple. I ain't saying you gotta do it overnight, you know, everybody trying to detox, all this kind of stuff. It don't make any sense doing it if you ain't gonna stick to it. You know what I mean? Take it serious. Give yourself 6 months, man, and see if you don't feel, you know, up, full and joyful, energetic, full of energy, synergy, so you could bounce and deal with this reality physically and mentally. Jeez, Sean, bread. Balance yourself spiritually, family. Anyhow, Haile Selassie first, Empress was there, man. Y'all know one perfect balance. I got a tune here for the youths now. Got to play this tune. This is an artist I came across. Been listening to him now for a little while. He get enough rotation in my box, going and coming. In fact, this is the only artist I've been listening to right now for the last easily 4 months. I mean, I played 1 or 2 tunes before, but when I realized he got a whole catalog, man, can't tell what. I didn't even look. This is it here though, family. So I'm gonna let you know, man. I gonna let you know here. Hold on, Daffodil. Hold on, Godspeed. I got tune here. Hold on, this for the youths though. This is a message. If you got children or you know young people that into music, take this link, inbox it to them, send it to them. The brother name is T Gene. So I gonna just put this tune on real quick. Let me let this one here play, man. I may not play the whole tune because it got a little length to it, but I just gonna play a portion for sure, man. Let me just gonna rattle on this tune, family. Again, it's a message. You gotta listen to the words. Don't get tapped. You know what I'm saying? Pretend he beating the tambourine and listen to the message, man. One love, family, all day, every day.
Oh my God. The killers are just in the streets now that and separation and poverty are cause that frustration build up and them can't hold back. Watch your serpent, you have to stay up and track. Look around, pure hardship, no love to me. Man hungry, where you want to survival make the youth them terrible. Desperation turn them capable. Babylon don't see your intention with coronavirus infection. Whole world forget vaccination. Microchip database information. Digital world bank inflation. I feel ready for move, you can't wait man. Nobody at all, the thing get blatant. Curfew while the streets get vacant. Not a matter, not tell no youth figure fire matter. But don't trouble we are it a go tragic. And the things where you're doing so you better stop it. Not a matter, seems like them come from another planet. Set up all the life in a roller planet. Put things away firm and we never panic. Now listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just no shadow of the darkness. Listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just no shadow of the darkness. Now listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just no shadow of the darkness. Listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just no shadow of the darkness. Juvenile act, not take talk. Most evil on the wanted chart. Rum and the boom and he made well charge. Feelings no man him Canada. Can't read so well him feeling secure. Hungry days him can't take it no more. Him the want change but him still don't sure. Who fit turn to fit enter Zion though. Not a matter, not tell no youth figure fire matter. But don't trouble we are it a tragic. And the things where you're doing say you better stop it. Not a matter, seems like them come from another planet. Set up all the life in a roller planet. Good things say we firm and we never panic. Now listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just no shadow of the darkness. Listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just no shadow of the darkness. Now listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just no shadow of the darkness. Listen when them talk, listen when them talk. In a Babylon, not just... Yeah.
Teach the youths, man.
Cut them out.
Teach them the right way, family.
Word is the lamina.
Don't leave them astray.
Rasta. Enough heartache, enough pain, you know. Recently, me see them a try we out. That mission I fi do no fear, no enemy round, yeah. I rock it on the beat, myself fi listen the sound, yeah. Ready for the beats anytime him turn round, yeah. Prepare for the judgment, Antichrist a come closer. Digital currency, them a bring up a Scotia. Rasta sound the trumpet, me say put it on poster. The rifle, them out, no gun, no in and no holster. Nobody feel like the killer, them and a joker. Food on your head and then the contract over. Babylon have them in the roller coaster.
Babylon got them in
Babylon have them in the roller coaster. Babylon have them in the roller coaster. Babylon have them in the roller coaster. As far as my eyes can see, wicked dad don't want no unity. Politicians don't care for you nor me. Come with them story like a Nancy. Teams who no deaf or who no can't see. Colonize we over the century. Take we out and we own a country. Without consent, mental slavery. Can't sing a God song down in a strange land. Now take back which at the president a waste man. Rainbow cover and them take it on a race flag. Joker see Nile round at the Vatican.
Straight.
Babylon have them in the roller coaster. Babylon have them in the roller coaster. Babylon have them in the roller coaster.
Yes, family. I tell you, okay, so I ended up playing both parts of the song. Listen, Babylon have them in a roller coaster. Family is that time you're writing on the wall. You can't watch left or watch right. You gotta watch where you walk. It's that kind of time, family. Pay attention. Make sure you got a plan for self. You got a plan for your family, for your community, and by extension, those around you, man. Because it's that sort of time. Straight up. I mean, so we up out of here tonight. Give thanks for all those who stayed plugged in, logged on. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we got more coming in the not too distant. So just hold tight, hold firm. Y'all already know how it is in this game called life. So stay away from the roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from the roller coaster. Straight up, man. Straight up. Daffodil. Yeah, go check the rest of that. Go check the rest of that brethren and tunes out, man. He got big tunes, man. A tune for every occasion. Yeah, real thing. Always have a plan. Important for sure. Give thanks, Empress. Love it. Rastafari love all day, every day. Anyhow, family, I saw it go. Let me let that last part there play. I'm gonna listen to the tune here. Babylon have them in the roller coaster.
Babylon have them in the roller coaster. As far as my eyes can see, wicked that don't want no unity. Politicians don't care for you nor me. Come with them story like a Nancy. Things on the left are no can't see. Colonize we over the century. Make we out and we own a country without consent, mental slavery. Can't sing a cat song down in a strange land. Now take back, we chat the president a waste man. Rainbow cover and them take it on a race flag. Joker, C9 round at the Vatican. Babylon have them in the roller coaster. Babylon have them in the roller